precision and performance from CZ USA. Trusted by hunters worldwide.
Rich, a lot of people know CZ from the CZ75, which is a classic Cold War era pistol. It's an all-metal gun with a double-action, single-action trigger system. But CZ decided a few years back that they needed to come out with a modern pistol that used the same DASA kind of trigger system. And what they came out with in 2009 was the P07 Duty, which looks a lot like this. And then a couple of years later, they came out with the larger P09. And what we have here,
these are both P9 Nocturnes. This one is the C and that one is the F. Right. C for compact, F for full size. These are very cool and very interesting pistols. There's so much to talk about. It's sort of hard to know where to start, but let's start with the basics. It has a glass-filled polymer frame. It has a carbon steel slide with a nitride coating. This one has a 3.7-inch barrel.
This is 4.53.
So. They have interchangeable back straps, so you can make that really fit your hand well. And what I like about the design also is you really can choke up on the pistol because you have this extended beaver tail and this undercut trigger guard, which really enables you to grab close to the bore line, which is going to help to mitigate recoil. Lots to talk about with these pistols.
Well, I think the C, the compact, is going to be the one that's going to be most popular. It's actually more concealable.
15-round flush fit magazine.
15-round flush fit magazines. I'm a big fan of full-size 9mm.
Boat anchors.
But that's what I carry. Hey, if you got a good belt, a good holster, and because it's a polymer frame, it's not a heavy gun. And the longer barrel, if you're carrying inside the waistband, disappears. This gun, flush 19-round magazine. Wow. So it's 19 plus 1. You got 20 rounds in the gun, which is sweet. Just awesome. And a note on the magazines. Older magazines for the P07 and the P09 will work in these guns, but these newer magazines won't work in the older guns. But there's a lot of the older magazines out there.
Tons of magazine options for you. Another thing that's great about this, and really every modern pistol starting to have this, is a slide cut. Now this is a slide that's cut for the Shield RMSC and the Holosun K footprint. And what's cool is it facilitates a direct mount. So you're not having to deal with plates, which, you know, there's issues of the screws staying tight. There's issues of the screws not locking it down. There's a lot of things can go wrong when you start adding plates. Also, without a plate, it sits lower so you can co-witness your backup iron sights.
Generally, when you're having a problem with an optic these days, the problem isn't the optic, it's something got messed up in the mounting. Or as you're shooting, something becomes loose. So if you can direct mount to the slide, that's always better. So in addition to now being an optics-ready slide, most of the new changes have to do with texturing and gripping. So the main complaint I had in the original guns was that the texturing that they had on the frame just wasn't aggressive enough for me. And apparently I wasn't the only person that had that complaint, because these new guns, not only do they have more texturing over more of the frame, but it is more aggressive. The guns won't move in your hand now. And then you look at the slide, not only are there more serrations, but they wrapped them over the top.
Yeah, and that's good for people that like to use the front of the slide to do a press check, for instance.
Plus, it looks cool.
It looks cool. No, I agree with you. The texturing is just right. I've had texturing that's too rough on your hand, and it kind of abrades your skin when you're carrying it. This is just right. It locks the pistol in your hand, but it's not overly aggressive. You have also a DASA pistol, and one of the things I find really neat about this is there's not a lot of DASA pistols that have polymer frames. So that makes this one a little bit lighter.
Well, everybody's going to striker-fired guns these days, but a striker-fired gun isn't necessarily superior, it's just different. So you got a hammer-fired DASA gun, but yeah, it's got a bilateral decocker, but if you're not a big fan of that, these guns also ship with an adapter, a lever, so that you can switch it to single action only.
And that's a user serviceable process, but I haven't done it, so let me let you speak to that.
I've done it because they ship it with the gun. You don't have to pay extra for it. You get multiple magazines, and so you can swap it out from DASA to single action only, and it's pretty simple and easy to do. So if you aren't sure what you're going to like, you can do it at the range yourself.
You have options, and that's great. Now, the trigger pull on this, since it is a double action initially, it's going to be a longer and a little heavier trigger pull, but much improved from the old CZ75.
The advantage of the CZ75 was that it was reliable and durable, but the double action trigger pull on that was neither short nor light. This has the Omega trigger system, which shortens and lightens. That double action trigger pull and the single action trigger pull is great as well.
After that first shot, it just, yeah, you're locked in.
Do I need to make that sound when I shoot?
It helps.
Okay. All right. Well, so if you're interested in a polymer framed 9mm that's got good capacity, whether it's compact or full size, and it's a little bit outside the box thinking because it's not a striker fired gun, you really should check out the, I mean, you bought one.
I bought it.
You bought one. And I like the guns as well. So the P09 Nocturne from CZ, either the C for compact or the F for full size, check them out. They're great guns.